Back by popular demand, we were just at Disney World, going to all 4 parks, riding just the bad rides. And now we are here at Universal Orlando Resort to do the exact same thing. And I think we can all agree that most of the bad rides here are at Universal Studios Florida and not Islands of Adventure. It's a little off balance. We're gonna start here at Studios and do the attractions that not necessarily we think are bad, but I would say the overall consensus is that it either needs to go or be updated, And so let's head on into the park and see what we can find. Welcome to Universal Studios Florida, and the first thing we want to do is actually acknowledge a ride that is no longer around that I think we could all agree was pretty bad, and that's because it just recently closed here at the park, and that is Shrek 4D. This was pretty much a show, and the actual ride portion of it was not that good, and the screen, like what they're showing, is actually available on Netflix for anyone to watch, so if you miss it, just go watch it there, I guess. We're starting off this video with a very iconic attraction, and that is Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. A ride that I personally don't hate, but I think a lot of people really do not care for this ride. So we're gonna go ahead and do it and see what exactly is so bad about it. All right, we just got off Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I don't know, what do you guys think?
It's fine. It's fine for what it is. It's just extremely outdated. Like the Q line video.
So
and all
retro.
That. The song choices. We and Sarah both did "You Can't Touch This," which is extremely entertaining.
Boom, boom.
But it's just it's not the most exciting ride. It does have some really good airtime, like pops.
When you rise up into the brake runs.
Dude, they yeet you into those blockers every time.
Yes,
but everything else is like boring.
We were commenting there's some nice positives as you're
totally
at the helix there. But I mean, I do agree that it is, I wouldn't say it's the most exciting ride. There's definitely some moments where you're just kind of like gliding around. Obviously a lot more brake runs than is probably necessary.
All the brake runs.
It's like inaccessible.
Yeah, I think it would be better if there was something else here, but I think that I mean, Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. This is a classic simulator ride themed to The Tonight Show. I think how much you like this ride is really dependent on how much you like Jimmy Fallon, you know?
I don't know about that, because like I really like Jimmy Fallon. I like don't think this ride is as funny and clever as he is.
Okay, see, I like Jimmy Fallon. I thought the ride was like fun, but it's obviously like not the best. But they're also reusing old technology, you know, to kind of update it. But it's also been a while since I've done it. Honestly, it's been a couple of years.
I don't hate it, but I know a lot of people don't like it, so that's why it's in there.
All right, let's head in. I forgot how cool this queue is. It literally looks like we're at 30 Rockefeller Center.
I really wish we were. I want to do that so bad someday.
Dude, I would love to see The Tonight Show live. That would be so sick. But I just really appreciate like the stylization that they pay tribute to everyone who was host of the show. Like, it's great. And if you've ever been to the place in New York, I mean, this is like identical.
It's Sarah!
S-A-R-A, no H, because H's are out.
I don't agree with that. I love my H.
Hey look, we're at the top of Raceford, New York. There's Studios.
You think this will be cooler than the ride?
Hello. I feel like hashtag the panda. Hello everyone.
But before we start, I have to tell you about some very important scientific cautions. If you're pregnant or your blood pressure's abnormal, I'm sorry, this simply isn't a suitable ride for you. Other people were unable to allow admission and over various back, neck, or heart conditions.
I'm Sarah, and in case you're wondering, it's S-A-R-A.
H.
Because H's are out.
No, they're not.
This is my stop talking about Santa, and let's start the ride.
Front row. Dropping in. And you heard Tariq, no recording on the ride, so we'll see you guys after. Race Through New York done, and
I stand by what I said before. It's not a great ride. It's not horrible, but
yeah, like, okay, it's very on brand for his show, but it didn't, like, from a ride perspective.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, I think the main points that lost me are you go into water, and then you go to the moon, and, like, the motion isn't even all that great.
I'm like, what is the story here? And it's, like, just, like, all over the place. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think it's clever that they work in like a lot of the different bits that they do and stuff with like the tight pants, the ragtime gals, Sarah was in there with her box of puppies. So like, I see what they were going for.
It just feels like any other kind of crappy simulator ride, but they're like, but we'll throw IP in there, so it's... It's relatable.
I don't think if the ride was gone in a couple of years, if really, do anything.
Which sucks, because like, Jimmy Fallon's awesome, but I didn't...
Yeah.
I laughed more in the pre-show. I didn't laugh once in the ride.
I think the pre-show's great.
Yeah, like the pre-show's fun. If they would have just continued that, where it like felt like you were at like screening and it was like towards like...
I think they could have done something else. I think they could have done something else.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Bad Rides of Universal without talking about what is likely the most hated attraction at the resort, and that is Fast and Furious Supercharged. Upon its opening, it received automatically terrible reviews, and I've only done it once. Sarah's never done it. Matt's never done it.
I'm being
Tyler's done it once.
I've lived here for far too long to have not done this. Let's change that.
I'm being forced to do this.
Wow, this ride's drawing in the big crowds today because there's no one here. Oh, at least give them credit. It's not a bad queue.
All right. What's up, Mia?
Hey, Tej, just welcoming these good people to our family.
Man, they always ruining our fun.
Just like my mother.
It gets worse. Has Toretto filled you in?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get those people on those buses.
This is like better than the ride. I don't even know what the ride is.
Right, shut off your cell phones.
Why?
We don't want Shaw tracking your locations.
But I was just making a TikTok.
Okay, Jamie, you heard the man. It's about to go too long.
I swear half that stuff was like not scripted at all. That was hilarious.
That was
my
improv
god.
genius.
She had like the same enthusiasm for the ride as everyone else who's ridden it.
I literally said, girl, that was probably better than the ride, and she goes, probably.
Oh my gosh. We go all aboard the party bus. Yeah. Gonna have some quality family time, if you know what I mean.
What could go wrong?
All right, we just got off Fast and Furious, and just as we said, yeah, the pre-show with that one chick was better than the ride. Like, by a lot.
That was like offensively terrible. Sensory
overload
overload with water.
It's just loud, and I'm wet,
I
and my
got water
head hurts.
shot directly into my ear. That was
The screen's, like, portion of it, like the vehicle motion is not good. The
The guy in front
projection's
of me was
not
going
good.
like this, and I was like, kind of saying.
it's too loud and the bass like vibrates
It's
way
also
too much.
low energy in the beginning, where it's like the actors just take like awkward pauses between each like line, where
And
it
the
just like
awkward,
goes
like,
on
grip
for
of
too
everyone
long.
dancing.
And then Vin Diesel is literally bigger than a helicopter.
Just grabbed onto the helicopter. He's like, I got you, and just.
All right, so we're on agreement that this is the worst ride at Universal.
That's not it.
I never want to do that again.
I would say so. Is just in Universal?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
let's.
all right. One of the other wildly disliked attractions here at Universal is the Simpsons Ride. Now, I have nothing against the Simpsons, but I am just not a particular fan of this attraction. However, it has been a while since I've done it, so let's go ahead, give it a try, and see how it holds up.
You're fired! And leave the suit!
Alright, get this thing off.
Go! Keep the suit!
This whole setup is just very, very bizarre.
You die! You die like my duck! I don't think I can get chilling that. I'm having... Folks. What a horrible nightmare!
Simpsons, a ride that is very on brand for the show.
Yeah. I mean, I love Simpsons. So, like, I love that the whole thing is like a giant couch gag.
Yes.
Like, the beginning of every episode is a couch gag. And I liked the subtle poking fun at Disney and SeaWorld. Like,
Yeah, that
they had,
was funny.
they had, like, Pirates of the Caribbean with, like, dinosaurs.
And the Shamu.
And the Shamu show. So, like, that's funny.
Yeah, it's just my thing is you can tell it is a very old ride. The
It's
system
nauseating.
of it is not great. It is it's probably the most nauseating inducing ride.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah, like the screen is huge. You're looking up and like it just feels like you're like, oh man, like if you have any motion sickness at all, do not ride this attraction. So that is all of the bad rides here at Universal Studios Florida. Next up is Islands of Adventure. Let's head over. We've made it inside Islands of Adventure, and you know, this is probably the most solid park out there because there are so few attractions that could be considered bad. Even if the ones that we're about to include aren't even that bad.
Not bad.
Like, Islands of Adventure is so good. I don't know. It's all right. We're starting over here with Dr. Doom. And this is an S&S drop tower, 2 towers actually. And
It's kind of irrelevant now because of the big drop tower down at Icon Park.
Yeah.
It already was in, but now it's like really.
Yeah, I feel like Islands of Adventure, you know, as good of a park it is, deserves a better drop tower. This one's just kind of okay, but let's go take a ride and, I don't know, maybe it's better than we remember. It's been a while since we've done it.
Probably not.
Always giving credit where credit is due. It is an awesome entrance. You can see it going up there. They actually just did a refurbishment on the drop towers, so they're looking great at least. When the queue is cooler than the ride, that's pretty awesome. That was lame.
Yeah, it's a really lame drop tower.
Like, you get a little bit of airtime when you hit the top, but other than that, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, it's really funny because we rode with 2 younger kids and they're like, we've only done Tower of Terror, we're so
I'm like, Tower of Terror is so much better than that. It's not even close.
Yeah, and they got off and they're like, that was it? And I'm like, you guys think it's lame too?
Yeah, I think they should do something about this ride. I mean, it's...
Honestly, there's not really a point anymore. Now that they have Icon Parks drop tower, it's like, you can't compete with that.
Yeah, it's an old ride. Didn't this open with the park? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a classic, but it's not a good classic. Well, I know it's kind of hard to see. They're doing some set enhancement, but that right there is Dudley Do's Ripsaw Falls, which is not necessarily a bad ride, more just something that needs to be updated. Some of the animatronics are not great.
No, they're a little creepy. I don't think most people really even know.
I have no idea what it is.
I think, and I've been saying this forever, that this whole area needs to be turned into like Bikini Bottom.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if that was rethemed to SpongeBob?
SpongeBob's boating school. Like,
exactly.
that's it.
Exactly.
Well, I told you we wouldn't have a lot to film at this park. We're already at our final attraction we're going to cover, and it's Cat in the Hat. This is a ride that personally I like, I enjoy, but I know that is not necessarily the popular opinion. Let's go for a ride, see how it is. It's a cute queue, I'll give it that. It reminds me of Who's Honey Hunt. How it has like the different like lines from the storybook. The ride vehicles for these are so weird. It's 3 across and they have this like netting here to like cover your legs. So bizarre.
We looked and we saw him step in on the mat. We looked and we saw him, the Cat in the Hat.
Oh no, I'm looking up the book. You will see something new. I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2.
I love the way they walk. That's a weird one. That is a very bizarre ride. Like, objectively, it's done well.
It's long.
It is. It feels like you're in a Dr. Seuss novel. So
I was forced.
Or on bad drugs.
I mean, I didn't see a cat in a hat, but...
there's the hat. There was multiple cats on there.
I don't know, it's something about the cat animatronic that just freaks me out.
It's just weird.
I think it's just because the eyes are the only thing that move. They're just like...
It's really overhated. It's actually not that bad of a ride.
It's not. It's just not one that like you gotta do like all the time. It's like a...
You wanted to marathon it.
Oh, there's no line. Why not?
Well, anyways, that's gonna do it for all the rides here at Universal that were bad or not as good or just need replacement. I don't know. What do we think? What's the worst one in the resort? I'd say Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Fast and Furious.
He comes back just
Jimmy
to say that.
Jimmy Fallon's your least favorite.
Really?
I mean, I feel like it's a huge IP and they just like kind of botched it.
You didn't think they didn't
It's
use
like
the full potential?
1A and 1B with Fast and Furious and Jimmy Fallon. They just got the 1-2 punch right there.
Well, Fast and Furious feels like a fail because like it inherently like feels like it should be something that's actually fast-paced.
You're on a party bus.
It's stupid.
It is.
It's stupid. I'm like, I didn't even know we were going to a party.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind Jimmy Fallon. I think Fast and Furious has got to go. I'm not a big Dr. Doom fan. Like,
yeah.
I think that is such an underwhelming
It's
ride.
a very dull drop tower.
Yeah, it's
So-
on you Universal
Dr.
now.
Dole.
There's a better drop tower right here.
There
so
is.
It's on you Universal.
There is. So, I don't know. Comment below, what is your least favorite ride here at Universal Orlando? And if you haven't already, be sure to go check out the one we did for Disney World. So, thank you guys so much for joining us here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.